Hey, it's MK, and I am here with Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, and today's sketch is by me. I'm sorry, that just was horrible. But anyways, I decided to break out the old sketching tools and make a sketch, and it ended up being watery-like sketch. It wasn't my intention. It was just the colors that I was drawn to. And then, of course, everything else came together, kind of like my layout. So I happen to have these really cool tentacles that I created. I call it the Kraken. I created it for a pirate set a while ago, about 2 years ago. And then I had these adorable little flare that sadly will not make it on this sketch or this layout. I also have all of my tray full of goodies from the collection that I'm using for my 2024 cruise kit. This is some paper that I also had, scraps of course, for my 2024 cruise kit. I also pulled in this black cardstock to map my photos, and I'm going to be creating a pocket page. Now, I'm actually going to just take the two sides of my double page layout and create one 12 by 12, cut it in half, and put it inside my pocket page. So I hope that makes sense. I will walk you through it, but I'm going to basically ignore the center section of my double page layout. And look at this. I found two pre-made mixed media backgrounds that will work perfect. So I'm going to map my photos in the center section of my my pocket page. So my 4x6 photos will be matted in the almost solid mixed media print, and then I'm going to make the rest of my layout out of the not so solid. So I've got a seaweed mix by Dusty Attic that I've already painted up, and then I also have this Dusty Attic little set right here. It is an adorable little scuba set. I had so much fun making it, and it is called Creative Layer number 7. And so I'm going to use that on my layout. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this pre-made mixed media background, which there's not really much mixed media. I think I was just sharing different types of watercoloring application to be the packaging technique, or a paper, a paintbrush, and then I think I did the sprinkles, like the powder watercolor is what I ended up using for this specific background. So anyways, if you are interested in seeing this background being made, don't forget to go check out my Facebook group of Mixed Media for Beginners. It is where I go from product to product rather than sharing a whole bunch of backgrounds. It's how to apply specific products, and then when I get to the end, I mix the products and blend them together to make different backgrounds. So I'm also going to be cutting this black cardstock down so that way I can mat my 3 photos that will go on the outside edges of this this sketch that I'm going to be completely cheating on, but it was, what do they call it, kismet, when it fell together. Like, I had no intention of actually creating an underwater layout, but yet I was going through my albums to see what pictures and things I could do for this layout, or this sketch, and this was perfect. And then I started pulling all the elements, and they were perfect as well. So it was awesome. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut this piece in half. And as you can see, I used gesso on one side of this specific layout and clear like an acrylic gel medium paint on the other side. So it's a gel medium that you add to your paint to thicken it and make it either glossy or transparent. And you add it to acrylic paint. And I used it as a base instead of gesso because, if you can tell, it goes on a lot smoother, in my opinion, than gesso does. I don't know why I struggle so much with gesso, you guys. It's just one of those things. All right, so I went ahead and I trimmed all these up, and I trimmed them to the size that they were. I think they are 4x6, and then I'm actually going to take these two here and trim them down to 4x4, but I'm going to have them go off the page like they are extended behind all of the other pictures. So it's just a look. I was trying to see if I even liked, or did I need that black border all the way around my photos, and I don't end up doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this photo down just a little bit. For some reason, I forgot to trim it down. It was still 4x4. So yes, I had to trim her down really quickly, and it seems like I am on uber slow motion here. Either that or I'm just trying to be precise. I don't know. Sometimes I find myself not actually editing my videos and they're in real time, but this one says it's not. So there you go. Even in fast motion, I'm slow. It's okay. So these are a mix of still shots from Janet's video, as well as pictures that I was taking with my undercover. No, it's not undercover. It's an underwater camera. And we were both taking, it was our first time out with our underwater equipment. She has a GoPro and I have an Olympiad camera. And we were both experimenting with it and what we could do with it and play with the settings and whatnot. And of course, we're only snorkeling. We are not actually scuba. So I couldn't get up close and personal like my camera is meant for. My camera is definitely meant for those macro shots, right? And getting up and close and personal. I'm also talking to someone on Zoom. It's probably Janet. Because who else do I talk to on Zoom? And so if you see my hands go any which way, it's because I am visiting. And then I did have to cut out a huge portion of this. So if it seems a little choppy, it's because I was helping one of my children create a menu for his week to cook dinner. And because my children are joining the workforce, sometimes they come in and ask what I want to cook on the days that they work. So that way it's a recipe that I enjoy cooking, as you know, instead of something that they wanted to cook and then they miss out on. Does that make sense? I hope so. But I had to cut it all out because it did take quite a while for me to go through this one specific book. So and find a recipe. We've got a book called Disney Theme Parks, and it's food from Disney theme parks. And I don't know exactly, where they are or what theme parks exactly. But it's supposed to be like the customer's favorite food throughout the theme parks. And so I was going through there and trying to decide on a dinner-ish meal as opposed to a snacky-ish meal, which is what most of them seemed to be like. But it was fun to read what all they have in that book. And I have to say, the gray stuff is in the book, just to let you guys know that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create my my little, shelf right here with using this paper. I don't know why I don't know why I cut all that off. I don't know why I didn't put my paper down at the end. I honestly don't know why I do half the stuff I do. I have no excuse for myself. But I am only going to put a portion of it on the page, and then I'm going to trim it off, and I'm going to use the other side of the Minte paper, but not the other side of the wood grain paper, if that makes sense. And of course, I don't know why I have to have it match, because you're not going to see it on the other side. Like it's going to end up on the back side of this layout. You're not going to see it. So why am I being so precise? I have no idea, you guys. I will go back in time and ask myself, why do you think that was necessary? Oh, but anyways, probably for video sakes is why I was being more precise, is so that way you guys can see it as a double page layout should you want to create this double page layout. It does look kind of cute as a double page layout. This paper is very warped. It's also very thick. It's one of the mixed media pages by Vicki Boutin, where she has like a paper pack that is nothing but blank mixed media, and it is super thick, like 120 weight or 140 weight. It is massively thick. And so when I added the paint and the gesso, it instantly warped, which I thought that the whole idea of paint and gesso didn't do that. But then again, you don't need gesso at all on her mixed media paper. It can handle the weight. It's like a watercolory paper. It can handle the water. So anyways, and as you can see, the backside, there was lots of holes in my gesso painting. And I'm terrible at it. I do not use gesso or any kind of protective layer underneath all my watercoloring. I just don't do it, you guys. It's not something that I enjoy doing, and it's not something I enjoy playing with. So anyways, there is my two ends of my layout, or sketch, I should say. I just left out the middly bits. That's all I did was I totally left all those out. And now I'm going to pick out which one of these tentacles I want to add to my layout. And I think it's going to be this one right here. I'll put the other one back. I'm only going to use one on this particular little guy. That is so fun. I'm glad I finally get to use this guy up. Even though I didn't see an octopi here, I think it's kind of cool. I did try to get pictures of like all the fish that I saw swimming by. It was almost like looking through my saltwater fish tank that I used to own, and all the fun little things that I had mailed to be put in the fish tank. It was very fun. So then the next thing I'm going to do is take all of my painted chipboard. Now I did take my Thule Art paint pens, and I inked all of these up with paint from the pens prior to starting the video. I knew that because this was a pocket page, most of my pocket page videos are uber super long, and I did not want it to be twice as long because then you watch me color. It just was not going to happen. But normally what I do when I have teeny tiny little pieces like this is I leave all the pieces in the carrier sheet that they come in. I paint everything so that way my fingers can hold the carrier sheet instead of those tiny little pieces. And then I will use an X-Acto knife to pop them out once they are dry, which usually it doesn't take the paint pen a whole lot of time to dry. Or to to dry. So yes, that is what I ended up doing for these. And then of course I took them out of the carrier sheet prior to the video starting, because again, that is very time consuming, and I was trying to save time because I knew the pocket pages take forever, take a long time. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just work on this cluster. And instead of putting a title on this layout, because this is going in between my actual pages with people on it. So I've got another scuba page already done, and it actually has, I took a picture. Well, I think Janet took a picture of Janie, and then I took a picture of Janet. Janet took pictures of me, so on and so forth. And so it was super fun being able to take these pictures and have these photos and whatnot. And so this particular pocket page will go in between those two pages. So I'm not too worried about this one not having any people in it. I thought that it would be kind of cool to check out the different kind of corals. I like how I was able to get some of the color, but if I was closer, I would have gotten a lot more color, because then my camera focuses on that one specific little area. And then of course, the fish, I would have been able to get closer to the fish, and they wouldn't have moved so fast because they would have been closer to the camera. So, but yeah, it's a learning experience that was super fun, and I enjoyed this a lot, actually. I really did. So I like playing with new technology. I just wish there was more time to be underwater and play with it, right? So anyways, that is basically the gist of how my layout is going to go. I decided not to use the flare, so I went ahead and put them back. And then these are the close-ups after I'd glued everything down. I really didn't want you guys to have to watch me, since you watched me place it down once, I wasn't going to make you guys watch me place it down again. So here it is. And then I will also show you guys how they look in the page protector. So this time I didn't do any decorating on the photos in the page protector because I really wanted the focus to be the coral. I didn't want to take away from that. So wait, first I put it in wrong. Don't do that. So halfway through and then, nope, that's the wrong side. That's how I roll. And so I'm just going to go ahead and slide this in here. Now this particular page protector, I don't know where I received these from. Most of my 6x12 page protectors like this open on the side, the long 12-inch side. So this is going to be handy because I will not have to do anything else because of how thick everything is. I can just slide it in place right here and it's done. Like I don't have to do anything else to this layout. I don't have to pull them back out and glue them together because they're pretty snug in there because of how thick the elements are on the page. So anyways, that is my double page layout. And then I also had 2 extra photos per side that I'm going to add flip-flaps to. So I'm just sharing with you guys where those flip-flaps are going to go. Because this is where I got a little closer to some of the elements and was able to get brighter pictures, better coloring, things like that. And as you can tell with the color of the water on top of me, you can see the difference that my camera does. The closer that I got to the bottom, the clearer the pictures were. And so yes, there is a big difference depending on how far away I am to my subject matter. So it's super fun. All right, you guys, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Don't forget to check out everyone else that is playing along with 30 Days of Sketches. I have all the links down below. And again, thank you so much. And I'll check you guys all later. Bye.